Good morning, everyone. Let's hope that we are running. This is another segment of our Saturday morning cartoon show that we do every Saturday. If people have popped in, if they're in the chat room, do me a favor and type in to let me know you're there. I'll bring up Jerome and Rosemarie, and the reason for that is I had never seen this message that I got when I pressed the start button. I am not seeing a running clock on my side, guys, but check this out, Jerome and Rose. When I press the start button, a message immediately popped up that says, server is overloaded. Please try again. Are we running? Yeah, I see what you're showing me. Does that mean we're running? Oh, wait a minute, Jerome. I'm so sorry, buddy. I still had you muted, as well as you, Rose. Have to remember to do that. Okay, so Deborah sees us. She pops in and says present. Very good. Okay, so we are off and running. Saturday morning cartoons, another portion of it. This is the part I like. Now, officially, it is my turn, okay, to do a show, to pick a segment. But because of my Star Wars show last night, and we had saw this coming last week, lovely Rose said, Mark, you're gonna be too overloaded. You're gonna be too busy. You're gonna be yada yada yada. Why don't you let me do the show this week? And it's like, hello, tricks are for kids. Yeah, absolutely. By all means, I bow to you, lady. Okay. And she is doing a show today, as you can see, on, hey, thanks, Terry from Ireland. He says we're sounding good and we're looking good. Well, I'm the best looking one. So hopefully you were just talking to me. Rose said hi to herself. So we're doing this on female cartoon voices. Now, Jerome, we did a show. Did we do a show on all male voices, or
no? We just did the man show.
We just did the yeah.
And we got shut down.
We did. Man, they are so bitter out there, you know. But
yeah.
This is my day to sit here and relax on the couch after last night's 3-hour show on Star Wars. Man, I got up early this morning because I had not done anything to prepare for Rose's show. I'm like, oh crap, I don't have Rose's show prepared yet.
And she sent you the data last week.
That she did, and I took the data, and my clock went off at 5:45 this morning, and I immediately ran downstairs, got on a laptop to put together.
Wow.
I hope he had clothes on when he was running downstairs, because that's an image I really don't need.
This is my house, knucklehead. Okay, so, running around rampantly naked, is that a term? Rampantly naked. Yeah. No. I never run around. Well, put it this way: I never sit on anything naked. All right, no visuals intended, but I never sit on anything naked. So I was fine. I was fine last night. Rose, so what made you come up with this topic?
Well, I was thinking about the females behind these cartoons that we haven't talked about them. It was something we haven't done before.
Do you often think of females? Because that's what you just said.
No, not really. But
okay. All right.
I thought we could focus on the names behind the voices, their lives, and get some more interesting stuff, because we've talked about these people, in passing, but never really got into depth with them. So I thought I'd pull up some information and share it about some of the first women that did voiceover work in cartoons.
Oh, so this should be great. Good morning, Odie. Deborah basically says I was brazenly naked. I said, did I say what did I say? Randomly naked? Rampantly naked? Okay. Yeah. So
by the way, Terry's got the best comment.
What did he say? He knows we can't reach him from this distance. So wait a minute, let me put this up. Oh,
for those of you who don't know, Mark and what's Shane's last name?
Rangi, R-A-N-G-I.
Well, they're good friends, and Mark kept giving him grief about these rugby shorts that he wears at these conventions.
Seems like I get grief from all my friends all the time now. But
so Shane just decided he had enough, and he took them off and handed them to Mark.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Shane if he, dropped trowel right there on stage,
Wow.
because,
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like somebody is excited about the show today with
Women power, right, Odie? Yeah.
all right.
I want to say good morning to some people from my watch party. I want to say hi to Teresa. And
Hi,
I want to say
Teresa.
hi to Ed.
Hi, Ed. Ed and Teresa. Now that
Good morning.
should be
Good morning to Carlisle.
that should be the name of a sitcom.
Ed and Teresa, or Teresa and Ed.
And Ed, or Ed and Teresa. Which one sounds better?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Give Teresa the top billing.
Okay, Teresa and Ed. Why? Oh yeah, this is their morning. So yeah, we'll give it to that. All right, Rose. This is your show. Female cartoon voices. Girl, take it away.
All right. I want to start off with one of the first female voices. Her name was Mae Questel, and she did the voice of Betty Boop.
Okay.
And she also did some other female voices as well. She, Mae Questel, she she first started off in vaudeville, and then she started to get work on voice cartoons, and she acted in some movies. And one of her last films was 1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So she was born in September 13th, 1908, and she went to Columbia to study drama. And she also appeared as Betty Boop in a cameo in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Betty Boop was in that.
That's right.
Okay.
She was at the bar.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get any Betty Boop footage, but I do have her second voice that she's known for, and that is Olive Oyl. And
really?
Yes, she did the voice of Olive Oyl, and she's got the that she did her voice a little bit differently. She has that really high pitched voice, but she did like the really kind of nasally thing for Olive Oyl.
Yeah, it was very New Yorkish too. Her accent.
Yeah.
Kind of 20s. What were the girls called back then in the 20s?
Flappers.
Yeah, kind of that flapper girl voice. And you even heard it when she did
Boop Boop Doop.
Olive Oyl. When she was interacting with Popeye, you still heard a little bit of that voice in that.
Oh yeah. Now that you say it, I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
Her singing, and one of the clips I have is one of the first songs she did with for Popeye, Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Are you sure? Stand by for a sec.
Uh-oh. I think you're being challenged, Rose.
Yes. Rose, look at your list and look at A.
Olive Oyl, Barnacle Bill the Sailor song.
Nope, that's not A. That's B.
Uh-oh.
Did I send you the wrong list?
I don't know.
I had edited the list. So if you have that Betty Boop clip,
yeah,
get it off.
What you said you didn't have. That's what you said you didn't have.
I sent you the wrong list.
Oh, no.
I had edited the list out.
Oh
but
no!
We do have so we're going to go ahead and open it up with Betty Boop then.
Woman, I got up at 5:45 this morning.
Oh my goodness! I really thought I sent you the. I worked on it and re-edited it. So I'm sorry. So
oh my God!
That's the opening of this then.
This is going to be a surprise for everybody. It's too long to play it all, so I will cut it at some point. Okay.
So what are you saying? Olive Oyl changed a little bit?
I have no idea. This is not Olive Oyl. I just work here. God, music.
What a hot cornet can, like Betty Boop can do. A saxophone can go. What a saxophone can, like Betty Boop can do. This little miss would never miss a chance for vocal tuning. And anytime and anywhere you can hear this lady crooning. An auto horn can go. What an auto horn can, like Betty Boop can do. Hey, don't tell a name, she can win you with a wing.
The biggest head in history. 10 grand.
That was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, I think this opening is kind of funny. It gets weird later on, though.
I can't find a regular place that I can call my home. I can't find a permanent address at Julie.
Oh man, it's cannibalism.
I don't know where I should go or where I'm going to be for there's no place upon this earth that's home sweet home to me.
Wow, it's like an LSD trip. Even the puppets are alive.
Well, she's working off her bucket list. Alright, I'm calling it before my drugs wear off.
Oh man, why can't I get a house that repairs itself?
Whoa, it went down in price.
Yeah, pieces of the house keep falling off, and it goes down in price, and then it gets like really psychedelically weird after that. So you kind of
No.
Hey, check this out. Odie says, so many great memories. How old are you, chick? Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Betty Boop. I mean, women today still love Betty Boop,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't even know if they've even watched one cartoon of it, but they like the way she looks. She's stylish, she's cute,
She got
and
big
I
thighs.
even think Cyndi Lauper kind of got her shtick originally off of Betty Boop, because she does a lot of that same voice. I mean, if you listen to Cyndi Lauper's older music, like when she first came out, it's very much like a Betty Boop kind of sound.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
Betty
you're
Boop was
right.
if you watch Betty Boop, okay, there's a couple of dark sides to Betty Boop. Okay, she's always being attacked by lecherous men.
Yes.
Okay, and what happens? She beats them off.
Yes.
Okay, which
She's
makes her a
strong.
very powerful, strong woman. You know.
Yeah.
So she's a great role model. She has no problem with her sexuality. You know.
Well, that's true.
I mean, how many women, show the garter? That was considered risque back then. And she's wearing a corseted top and very short skirt, which 32 and 40 and 32 where that came out in the 40s, that was risque.
Very risque. When you're ready, I got the one you started off with.
Yeah, I watched this, and I thought it was really cute. This is Barnacle Bill the Sailor, and I hope you can sit through it without going nuts here, Mark.
No, wait a minute. I'm not sure I've seen this, but being the old fart in the house, I actually know the lyrics to Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, so prepare yourself if this is what I think it is.
Popeye dear, we cannot wear.
Oh my God!
Popeye dear, we cannot wear. Popeye dear, we cannot wait. I love another sailor.
Who's that guy that won your heart?
Barnacle
It's
Bill the Sailor.
sailor.
Who's the guy that thinks he's smart?
Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Why, that false hot and flattering tongue. He courts them all, both old and young. He courts them all, but marries none. Your Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
But he's strong and handsome too. But he's strong and handsome too. But he's strong and handsome too. My Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Oh my God!
Twist his toes and squeeze the nose of Barnacle Bill the Sailor. I rock the place with his false face, the Barnacle Bill the Sailor. I grab him by his dirty neck, and when I throw he'll be a wreck. I sweep and smear and swab the deck with Barnacle Bill the Sailor.
Here he is, the man.
Who's that knocking
at my door.
Who's that knocking at my door?
She's got rubber arms.
I was gonna say the woman has no bones.
Knocking at my door, tell the fair young maiden.
It's only people that see Barnacle Bill the sailor. I've come to take you away with me. I'm Barnacle Bill the sailor. Hurry before you get me door. A rear and tear and rag and roar. Hurry before I push in the door. It's Barnacle Bill the sailor.
Here I come to let you in. Here I come to let you in. Here I come to let you in. My Barnacle Bill the sailor.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
They cut that clip short. Thank God.
Now, Mae Questel was not always the voice of Olive Oyl, but she started off until 1938 when she took a break to start a family.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's that. So then the voice was taken over by another woman by the name of Zazal Pitts.
great
Um,
acting,
I
great
wanted
turn.
I wanted to throw something in about Olive Oyl. You know how you were saying how Betty Boop, she like beat up all the people and was like a strong female character.
Yeah.
Olive Oyl was not. She was always the damsel in distress. My mom, as a kid, she would always tell me, I can't stand Olive Oyl. She's like, she brings all these problems on herself, getting involved with Bluto instead of staying with the man who's there for her always.
Ah,
And she, my mom, just till this day cannot stand Olive Oyl.
I always had a problem with Olive Oyl too.
so, well, speaking for the male race, okay, it was two guys trying to win over the only chick on that whole freaking world that we see every time. And
Oh no! There was some of those flasher cartoons where they had a couple of Betty Boop like girls, and Olive would beat the two of them up because they were paying attention to the other girls.
I can't understand what people saw in Olive Oyl anyway. I mean, it's like, oh my God, she's straight up and down.
And no bones. And no bones.
And no
But I
bones.
have to say this. I have to say that Shelley Duvall, she like channeled Olive
Oh
Oyl
yeah. Oh
for-
yeah.
for that Popeye movie.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
She did.
I got the third clip. Okay, you had 3 in here. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
were you able to edit it down, or do you just have like the beginning of it?
I know. I think I didn't have any chance. I was up at 5:45. I think what we'll do.
Well, what time was that
Well,
again?
we'll
I
just
didn't
say
quite catch
part
that.
of it then. This was a 9-minute interview from the Mike Douglas show.
Wow.
And it, you know, for being that old, it's a pretty good quality clip. In the beginning, it kind of looks like it's janky, but then it's pretty good. So if you want to, you know, maybe
Mike
go through it.
Douglas was the show to watch back when I was
Yep.
a kid, man. It was the show.
I
to
love
watch.
Mike Douglas. I loved it. It was
Oh,
a great
yeah.
show.
All right, let's see how bad you tortured us on this one. Oh my
Ignore
God.
that, ignore that part. That's her in the middle. That's Mae Questel.
That's Betty Boop.
Yep.
I think you better wait it for yourself, honey.
Oh my God.
Then it
Whoa.
starts.
All right. Yeah.
Just
Move a
minute,
little forward.
It gets better.
She's been the voice of some of our best-loved cartoon characters, including Betty Boop, Olive Oyl, and countless others. Here is Mae Questel.
Hey, I got a suit like that.
Seersucker suit, right?
Oh, is that Elvis?
Is that Aaron Gray? Aaron Moran?
On the show without kissing.
Yes.
It is.
I wonder who started that.
I don't know. I think it's Joey.
Mike, it's
Don't
me.
you? I want to better man.
Thank God.
I'm very happy about that, too.
You've got a voice that I would know anywhere in every part of the world. I heard that voice, you know, because it carries, but it's so unusual.
I don't know about that.
Well, you put yourself on it.
Oh, I usually do, or else, isn't it funny, honey, that everybody says, where are your Scotch houses? Do you really think they're happy? But they are.
People say that to you?
Oh, sure, they say everything. What happened? Someone said,
No, that's a mistake. I'll get it.
you!
Has been a financial pleasure for you being here, Bluebell.
But, honey, are you making any money? That's all I want to know. Yes. I'm working with lovely people. Everything.
Can you fast forward it to like 4:45?
There you go.
How long ago did you do? When did you do your first Betty Boop cartoon?
In the early 30s. First Betty Boop cartoon. It was called Betty Coed at that time. And then they decided...
There you are. Look.
Isn't that adorable?
You look like Betty Boop, too.
Yes, I was the model.
Oh, boy.
They made a caricature of my face. Oh, May, for crying out loud. But really,
What did they choose?
I was chosen because of my voice.
Ah.
And then, after a few cartoons as Betty Coed, they decided to use me as a model, you know, with all the spit curls and that. And I was a little slimmer then, too. So I get into this dress. I don't think I could have managed it a couple of months ago. I didn't get thinner. I just managed to get a dress large enough to fit.
Do me a favor. Just do a little bit.
Of what? Why not? I rehearsed when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Who will feed your clothes? Even that go to bed, right? And take good care of yourself, you belong to me. Ooh, be careful crossing streets. Ooh, and cut out meat. Cut out sweet. No! You get a pain and blue short sometimes. Keep away from college boys when you're on a spree. And take good care of yourself. You belong to
Awesome sauce. All right, that was excellent.
Guys, I when I came across that, I just thought it was so cute. You know, there's a really sad note about Mae Questel, and I found it through a couple of these different actors that we're going to come across today, and that is when Hanna-Barbera started making the all-new Popeye cartoons in 1978. She actually she auditioned for the part of Olive Oyl and lost it. She lost the part.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
to Marilyn Schiffer. So, and that comes across a couple of different times here, and I really think it's sad because these people who made these iconic characters end up losing the part, like later on down the line.
Wow, how about that?
But you know, she had a wonderful career. She did a lot of voiceover work. She did tons of commercials in the 70s and 80s, and worked almost up until she passed away.
Yeah.
So, let's see, what was that? National Lampoon's Vacation was 1989, and she passed away on January 4th of 1998.
Excellent.
So, you know, but she had a really good career. So, and she was one of the first voice actresses of all time. So,
Excellent.
so
Okay. Who's
anybody
next?
else have anything else to say about Mae?
No, I thought her voice, even back then as Betty Boop, was one of the sexiest voices. And the fact that she wore the shortest freaking skirt with the
I did not know she was a model for Betty Boop. So
Yeah, that was a surprise.
That's kind of interesting.
yeah, that was pretty interesting. So good job. Who you got next?
We're going to talk about Bernadette. I don't think I spelled her name right. Bernadette.
Okay.
She was born in April 4th of 1906.
Mhm.
She was an American radio and television actress. And a lot of you probably know her, especially those of you who grew up in the 60s. She did the Beverly Hillbillies, and she was on Petticoat Junction.
Boy,
And-
I can't. She was Pearl. She was Cousin Pearl.
Oh, okay, Cousin Pearl. Okay.
She eventually went off the spinoff show Petticoat Junction as Cousin Pearl, who opened up Petticoat Junction. I actually adored this woman.
The opening of Petticoat Junction is one of my favorite openings of TV series of all time.
Same here, sweetheart. Same here. And I know the words from beginning to end.
So she did a lot of voice work back in the day.
Yes.
She did a couple of different things, but she's known. She played Granny at one point, but she's also known in the Looney Tunes cartoons for Lovelorn, Leghorn, Miss Prissy, and Hazel. She did the voices of those, and I think we have that clip.
She did Hazel the Witch. Excellent.
It was really out of character for her to do Miss Prissy. If you listen to the voice, Miss Prissy basically had a 1 or 2 word response to Foghorn Leghorn's advances all the time. You know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in this clip, but we'll find out. You ready for it?
Yep.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Hazel, look who's gone out to look for a husband. Not Prissy. Oh, yeah, old Square Britches herself. If you ask me, the poor old thing couldn't catch a husband with a bear trap. Girls, here she comes. Happy husband hunting, dearie.
Did you take something with you to clunk him on the head with?
All right.
Wow, man, those are some mean chickens.
Yeah, well, you know, women.
I love the book though.
Yeah.
Living Alone and Hate It.
All right. What else you got on this?
Well, she also did an iconic character at the beginning. She was the opening voice for. She did the Betty Rubble originally. She was originally the Betty Rubble voice.
Right.
So
What was she?
I think we've
Season,
got.
I think she was season 1, wasn't she? And then they got somebody else, if I remember right.
You're right, because I think she actually died.
But she died a few years later, actually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she ended up unfortunately getting lung cancer.
Oh, that presents a problem for a voice actor.
Nasty, nasty. You want this clip now?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that clip of Betty Rubble.
Betty Rubble. Excuse me. This.
Do you think the mighty hunters will bring anything back?
They'll be lucky to get back in time for lunch. I knew it. The camper's best friend, the mosquito.
I can't stand them.
That's why I like the beach.
Your play.
Jen.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I know.
Holy mackerel.
I hope they get back soon. Everything's getting cold.
How cold can cold cuts get?
Uh-oh.
Now what?
That was a logical answer.
What else? The minute you set out any food, they zero in on you. My game.
Army ants.
I guess they couldn't bring the uncles with them.
Oh.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's ants.
Same here.
I remember this one.
That's why I'm glad I wasn't born in Bedrock.
Well, at least they left an olive.
There he goes.
Oh, I wanted to see more.
Yeah, that's a good episode. That's the one where they have the dino that actually talks.
Isn't that when they get Dino?
Yeah, Dino. Yep.
Cool beans. Okay,
Yeah.
that was the last clip on your Benadryl. Whatever.
So now we're gonna move to probably the most iconic and well-known voice actress from the early beginnings of cartoons, and that is June Foray, who we talk about a lot on this show. But I wanted to go in further in depth on her. She was born on September 18th of 1917, and she did voice acting really up until she died. She's known for a very famous character, but first I wanted to also she started off doing Looney Tunes. She did the voice of Granny also, just like B, and I have a clip from that.
Okay, you said the voice of Granny. You're talking about Sylvester's Granny?
Yep. Both her and B both did those voices.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. I didn't know they both did them. That's
Yep.
very
Hey,
good.
we love June, man. June is dynamite.
Okay. So we are looking at the where is it? I thought I added it. Whoops. This is the first one is Sweet and Sour. That's what I have.
Yep, Tweet and Tower.
All right, let me get you up on this. Welcome screen to screen. And showtime.
Morning, thing.
Hey, Fritz.
Don't worry, Tweety. Granny will lock the door so that bad old pussycat can't get you while I'm gone.
That's what I would have done.
I tore Pussycat.
You're darn tootin', Buster. You did see a pussycat.
Help! Granny, help! The Pussycat's got me. Help! Granny! Bye-bye, Tweety. So, Kartoon, you scoundrel! You sneak! You rascal! You hoodlum! You...
Listen to the quality of that voice.
Yeah, you bad old pussycat. Can't take my eyes off you for a second. Let me warn you, Sylvester, for absolutely the last time, if there's one little feather, just one little feather harmed of this bird, I'm going to send you to the violin string factory.
Ooh.
Remember?
That's funny.
I love it.
That's right, Mike. No lumps.
Goodbye, little birdie. Even after all that warning.
But what's the use? She never believed me.
Love it.
Some of the jokes on the Looney Tunes were so adult, the kids never got the violin string factory joke.
You know, I really was concentrating on the quality of her doing an old person's voice.
Mhm.
Man, it was just the inflections up and down and whatever. It was just unbelievable.
What's interesting about June though is after she did Rocky, she didn't really change the inflection of her voice on a lot of her next series of acting. You can hear the same type of voice throughout the later stuff that she did. She didn't really start going up or down or changing a whole lot.
Right, but yet on Rocky, it was a higher pitch.
Yeah.
To carry that through. So go ahead, Rose.
I believe that you have an interview of June Foray that you picked out because the one I chose was kind of bland.
Yeah.
We have that. We have that. I know I didn't pick a Rocky clip on purpose because we talk about Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's another one that we talk about a lot. So I thought it would be interesting to show, the faces behind the voices and, get interviews where I could. Some of them were kind of difficult to find, but.
Understand.
Uh,
Let's do
But,
this.
Chuck Jones was once quoted as saying June Foray is not the female Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc was the male June Foray.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Here's
That's
the knife
impressive.
going. Yeah, take that, Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Wow,
okay.
that is really good.
All right. Well, I watched a part of this. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better than what you chose because it was more of an interview, the one before or the one you chose. But man, it was boring as all get out. It's like, oh boy. Here we go. So let's check this out. See what we got.
Oh, it's a PBS show.
I never even heard of Jay Ward.
Oh, this is not the one.
I had never heard of Bill Scott.
I'll play a little bit of
Bill
this.
Scott had been writing a lot of things for Warner Brothers, which I didn't know because the writers are never really on the set, not very often. And so I got a call from my agent, and I had never seen Crusader Rabbit. I hadn't even heard of Crusader Rabbit. He said, "Do you know a fellow named Jay Ward?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, he wants to take you to lunch." So I met him and Bill at the Tail of the Cock. It's no longer there on La Cienega Boulevard. And they were having martinis. And they said, "Well, have a martini." And I said, "Well, I don't drink at lunch." And they said, "Oh, come on, we're having a drink." So I said, "Okay." And on the first drink, they told me they had an idea of a moose and a squirrel. And I thought, gee, that's a real cockeyed idea, But after the second martini, I thought it was great. And about a week later, we did the pilot. And then it was a year and a half, at least a year and a half. My agent called and said, "Remember that guy who did the pilot with you about a moose and squirrel?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, they're ready to go." Didn't know about it. Apparently they had trouble raising money and finding out how to do the whole thing, We went into the studio and Jay would say, "Well, the All-American Boy," and did Natasha. And Bill Scott, who was the head writer, said, "Well, who's going to," and Paul Frees was there, who's going to do Boris. And Bill said, "Well, who's going to do Bullwinkle?" And Jay said, "Well, I thought you were," because he would read the scripts to Jay and he would use this Bullwinkle voice, which Red Skelton thought he impersonated because he was the mean little kid or something. But we did the pilot and it sounded very funny, and it was funny. And as a result, ABC bought it, and we went on the air in November, I believe, of 1959. And it went from ABC from 59 to 61 on ABC, and 61 to 64 on NBC. Then it went into reruns. The voices that I was asked to do, they would tell me, is she nice, or is she spiteful, or is she a nasty little kid, or a sweet little kid, or how old? And so you get an idea.
Uh-oh. Did it lock up? Or is that the end?
I guess that's the end of the clip.
That's funny. Is she did all the voices, all the female voices in Rocky and Bullwinkle, I think.
Yes, I know that she did Natasha. And
Man, the funny thing is I loved Natasha. Hated Boris, but loved Natasha.
Yep. They made a good couple, though.
Well, she was the real brains of the outfit.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Mark has frozen up or something because I don't hear him or we don't see him or anything.
Yep. She was like the real femme fatale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, she always played the little girl with with the curls, all those curls, whatever. There was always, no matter what the girl was, she was always had these like Shirley Temple curls, no matter what part of the show it was that they used to do, and she'd play those voices.
June Foray also did Cindy Lou, Who, and in the famous
yeah,
Grinch
and the
Stole
Grinch,
Christmas.
yeah. And then wasn't she what else did she play? Did she do Judy Jetson?
No, she didn't do Judy Jetson.
Oh, that's right, she didn't. I thought she was on the Jetsons at one
But
point.
you know what? I don't know if you know this, but she played Jokey on the Smurfs.
No kidding. Uh-oh. Wow, Mark says he lost the entire house. His entire house went down, so he's without power right now.
So you and I can hear each other, but
to those in the Kartoon Krew, can you sort of let us know if you can hear Rose and myself? Mark has apparently lost total power and cannot is trying to reboot his house, not just his computer. So if the Kartoon Krew could just please let us know that you can hear Rose and myself, we would appreciate it. Those in the watch party do the same thing. We want people to know that we're still on the air, we're still going, but we seem to be having some serious technical. Oh, good. Thank you, Sage. Okay, Mark is telling us he's got a surge. Good. Thank you, Carlisle, for commenting. Mark is rebooting his house even as we speak. I'm sure he's running around pulling every circuit breaker he can find. Okay. Oh, good. So Rose, anything else on June before we move on?
she is also a Grammy Gummy in the Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bear series.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Oh man, she must have had a mortgage payment or something,
we really lost an icon when she passed away.
Oh, we did.
On July 26th of 2017. But I mean, she was 99 years old.
Oh, jeez.
And I mean, that's a good long life. And I mean, she has a career that basically people will be hearing her voice until the end of time. Really,
oh, yeah. She like. Oh, hang on a second here. We had a little accident here in the house. Hang on a second. Okay.
No problem.
No, Gwen is walking around with stuff, and she's like, like any kid, she's got too many things in her hands, and so she's dropping things left and right. Yeah, June, they're right. June and Mel, it's the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually had another clip where she does the voice of Nell in Dudley Do Right, and maybe if we get back up online, we'll be able to see that.
Right.
But I guess we should probably move on.
Yeah. Can you guys
talk
hear me?
about.
Yes, Mark.
Mark.
Can you see me?
No.
You can't.
We can see the Saturday morning cartoon logos.
Yeah, you got the banner up.
I'll be back on in a sec.
Okay. Yeah. Who's your next contestant on the Saturday morning cartoons show?
Actually, it is Janet Waldo.
Okay.
Janet Waldo was the voice of Judy Jetson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she like many of these actresses back in the day, she started off on radio, and she later on went on to do a lot of voices that we all know and love. She did the voice of Penelope Pitstop and Josie and Josie and the Pussycats. Waldo, she was born in Washington State on February 4th of 1919, and she trained at the Conservatory of Music. Oh, actually, her mother did, and her father was named Benjamin Franklin Waldo. And it's family lore that she was a descendant of Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Judy Jetson and Penelope, that's interesting. You can hear those voices now that you know who they are. You listen to those voices in your head, and you can definitely hear those voices,
Yep. She also played Nancy in Shazam, which I don't know what that cartoon is.
Two American kids flying through the Middle East on a flying camel with two parts of a ring that when they put it together, they get a giant genie.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, there was a
I
lot
was
wrong
looking
with that
for it.
one.
I couldn't find any clips for it. I was looking for it and couldn't find that. But she also did Granny Sweet in the Adam Ant Secret Squirrel show.
I don't remember that character in those shows.
It was probably a small part, but these actresses back then, they did whatever they were called in to do, they did it. It might have
Yeah.
been an episode or two. Let's see. She did the Beth Crane, a descendant of Ichabod Crane, and the Headless Horseman of Halloween in the Scooby-Doo show in 1976.
Wow, I've got to go back and watch that one.
Yep. And she also did Morticia Addams for a short-lived adaptation of the Addams Family in 1973, which I think also had Jodie Foster that did the voice of Pugsley in that one.
Okay. Sage, flying camels are a little hard to find nowadays. They're a valuable commodity.
I would love a flying camel. I think that would be really cool. It's better than just doing the carpet thing.
Yeah, well, the carpet though, all you got to do is vacuum it and you're ready to go. A camel you got to feed and everything else.
Oh,
there we go. There's some Judy Jetson. The girl next door. Of course, instead of being blonde, she's got white hair.
Yeah, and there's Josie and Josie and the Pussycats.
Now, I don't know if you know this about Josie and the Pussycats. The voices of the actual band, they got people to sing that were not the original voices.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And ironically, the drummer, who's the character, I can't remember her name, Melody, was the person who they got to be Melody, the singing voice, was Cheryl Ladd.
I did not know that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was an interesting discovery when I was doing the knockoff shows. When I was doing that, we didn't have time to talk about that. Mark, we can see you.
Oh my God! Very
down, huh?
Well, very frightening.
Well, usually it's me. I just drop out.
Hold on. Okay. Very frightening because when you lose power, you just hear one solid big kind of thud, kind of like droom. This was a crackling. That scared me.
Uh-huh.
All
right.
Was everything okay at your box and everything?
Yeah, I just had to reboot. In fact, I was on camera waving at you guys, trying to get your attention, but you couldn't see or hear me. And I said, okay, let me poke around. But when you were mentioning, oh, there's Judy up on the screen. Well, I was on camera before I put those up, but you didn't see me.
Well, that's wild. Do you happen to have that June foray clip of Nell?
Of what?
Of Nell from Dudley Do Right?
Yes, I do. Stand by. And I want to play another one for you on June foray after this one that I thought was fascinating. So stand by for a minute as I cue it up into all these buttons I always got to press. And there's nothing there. Let's do this. Let's do that. My hands move like lightning when I'm trying to do these shows.
I'm expecting Mark to turn the key and launch the missiles at this point,
Yeah, right. I pressed the wrong button. Sound like somebody from off of Dr. Strangelove or something.
Yeah, great. You're Peter Sellers.
I love this theme. Love it.
The month was June in the Canadian Northwest, and once again, Dudley Do-Right's heart turned to Nell.
Nell, 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 your name sounds like the ringing of a bell.
Oh, Dudley, I know my name sounds just like a bell, but is that enough? A pretty name, a pretty face. But while I stay here and do the household chores, you go out into the world where there's excitement, adventure.
But Nell, that's the way things are. That's mounty business. We always get our man.
How about women?
Why does her hair look like
You
a
always
butt?
get your women.
I hadn't thought about that.
Of course you
That's
don't.
just his
Women
kid.
are too smart for you. Besides, if you do always get your man, why is Snidely Whiplash still at large?
It will take some doing, but I'll bring him in.
Haw!
But
I said haw! I could bring in Snidely and all his henchmen with no trouble at all. All right, Dudley, you change places with me and I will show you.
well, all right.
Okay, in all honesty, I want to keep going, and I'm sorry for this, but I wanted to show you this next clip, which I think you will enjoy, because I did when I found it. So stand by for a sec here and watch this.
The voices of Rocky and Bullwinkle, as well as a host of other characters, belong to June Foray and Bill Scott.
Why didn't you tell me before?
I didn't think you'd believe me.
I don't, but it sure helps the plot.
People are talking to each other, saying, well, I'm a brain surgeon, I'm an attorney, I'm a public relations man, I'm Bullwinkle Moose. You're Bullwinkle Moose! My God! That's what happens.
I grew up with you.
I grew up with you, and that's what happens. Why wouldn't you be proud to say that? When everybody, instead of having a group of strangers or acquaintances, you were suddenly among old friends.
Good memories are feelings brought out by old friends. And when you're introduced to Bill and June, you're among the best memories of cartoons past.
He's Mr. Peabody. He's Sherman, and if the way back could talk, it would tell you that it's the way back.
This man, this dog, this beagle, is really a kind of a Clifton Webb, very clipped in his speech, and everything very forward in the mouth. And so that's where the Mr. Peabody voice came from.
Rocky is an all-American Boy Scout, and Natasha's a Balkan spy. We won't say Russian spy, you know, that's...
Chinchy at the time.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah. Bullwinkle, of course, would be my favorite. I guess in large part because that's kind of the character that I would really like to be like. Somebody who says outrageous things, you know, just react like this, but it's so dumb. You really can't take him. You really can't take umbrage at what he says or what he does, because after all, he's a moose. What do you expect from a moose?
And just where do we find home now?
On the moon.
Oh,
Or in spaceships or... Yeah, funny how that works out.
This is WBCN Boston.
And now, as part of our All Brahms program, is Heaven's on Fire featuring Kiss.
yes, and this is from the latest Kiss album, Animalize!
On WBCN.
A WBCN!
That's what he said.
Promoting an appearance at a recent New England Animation Festival was made simple. Just placed Bill and June in front of any microphone, and their characters seemed to unfold from the past.
Oh, Bill Nell is so delightful and so clean and so lovely, and she's just in love with Horse and Dudley.
You really can't say a girl is quite all there. Who would prefer a horse over Dudley Do-Right?
Nobody I know starts out, it's a great career, but nobody I know starts out going, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a good cartoon voice. You know, how'd you do it?
I was pushed in with my head. Didn't intend it there at all.
Well, I was a dramatic actress. I started in radio when I was 12 years old.
I was writing the thing, and I had no idea about acting in it at all. Jay starts handing out the parts, and I said, who's going to do Bullwinkle? He said, oh, I thought you were. So that is how I was assigned, and that's the hard work I did to be cast as Bullwinkle Moose.
Wrong hat!
I think it's 7.5.
We're just paying respect to those people who gave us so much fun when we were kids.
Okay, I thought I'd stop it there, but I just wanted to show you guys something that I found that I thought was pretty.
That was cool. I loved it.
Because you don't hear those things, the behind the scenes kind of stuff. I don't. This was a long time ago. This is like it was something might have been from the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah, they were introducing a Kiss song. That's really cool.
That was the 80s. BCN disappeared after the 90s. It was really popular in the 80s.
Okay, but
70s
that's
and
pretty
80s.
cool because obviously it wasn't nationwide, but that thing was freaking fantabulous. So I know we jumped backwards to June again, and then we were talking about, of course, Janet and her character. So anything more on that?
Well, we've got a clip of Janet as Judy Jetson. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, let me find it. I think this 4A. Yep, that's that one. So stand by for a sec as I do the magic here. Good job on this show, Rose, covering for my lane butt. but
Oh, no, you had so much to do this week, man.
yeah. Well,
You know, it's
next,
interesting.
Hey, Mark did an incredible show last night. I'm sure you can recatch it if it's possible. That Star Wars show, 3 hours he went.
it
Oh,
really,
it was fun. The parts I was on, it was a blast.
all right. There it was. Okay, here's a clip.
Oh, Rosie, you darling, beautiful girl. Afternoon, Miss Judy. You learned an exercise in school. We're dancing, Rosie. Maybe you are. All I'm doing is winding up my string. I'm in love. I'm dizzy. In love again? For the absolutely last time. Oh, he's simply the utmost, Rosie. The utmost. Sure. Just like the last one. Love. Not beep beep, Rosie. Love. Tra-la-la-la. For you, tra-la-la. For me, nonsense.
Awesome.
And
We
just like
also have Penelope Pitstop when she played Penelope Pitstop also in The Perils of Penelope Pitstop.
And I am gearing up your second clip. If you remember, if it's, I don't know what list you're on, but can we mention the word Josie? Do you have that on your list?
Oh yes, yeah. I did mention that she was in Josie and the Pussycats. So you got that. Roll Josie. I love Josie.
Okay.
who doesn't like Josie?
Everybody, male and female, when Josie and the Pussycats came on, I think everybody was watching Josie and the Pussycats, you
Of
know?
course, man. Oh, episode 1.
Oh, crap.
We are on perfect course, Captain Nemo. The freighter is dead ahead.
Excellent, Mr. French. Soon another ship will be sent to the bottom.
Well, gang, we're on our way to our big gig at Pago Pago Island. How do you like it?
I'd like to throw you over the side for getting us stuck in this old rust bucket. Brother dear. Rust bucket? I thought this was a ship. It looks more like an accident going someplace to happen.
Oh, stop complaining, Alexandra. Once we get to Pago Pago, you'll forget all about how we got here.
Huh. There'll be nothing to forget. I can see now that this trip is going to be strictly Dullsville.
Okay, so that was the Josie clip. I couldn't, of course, play it all because it's 21 minutes.
Yeah, it's the first episode.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, my God, wait a minute. Is that your last?
No, not at all.
Okay, keep going.
we should have Janet Waldo as Penelope Pitstop also.
Was it in the list you gave him?
No,
It
it
should
was
be.
not. Nope, you only gave me 2, which was the Judy Jetson and the Josie one.
No,
So-
I don't know how that happened.
Wait a minute, Sage. Did you see what Sage says?
What does
not
Sage
yet.
say?
Hold on. Where is Sage? Sage says, "Oh, evicted, kicked off." Thank you for that, Terry. I appreciate it. Let me do this. Keep talking for me.
I do have a sad story about Janet Waldo, and it goes back to earlier when like Mae Questel, she had auditioned for the voice she created as Olive Oil and was replaced. Janet Waldo in 1990 had completed her role as the voice of Judy Jetson for Jetsons the movie.
Yep.
It was all getting ready to go, and the studio decided to make a change. They decided that Janet Waldo wasn't going to do the voice of Judy Jetson. They were going to bring in Tiffany
Yep.
The pup singer that was famous for about
singers.
4 years.
Uh,
And they had her come in and they redid the entire voice and took Janet Waldo out of the movie.
Yeah, I read about that.
And I'd like to see it with her actually back in the voice, because after they brought her in, they kept telling Tiffany, no, you need to sound more like Janet Waldo.
wow.
So that's the sad thing about what happened with Janet Waldo getting booted off of her own, the voice she created for a pop singer.
Yeah, somewhere they've got the master tapes with her doing those voices. There, somebody's going to grab that film and the master tape and re-edit it.
Yeah, I mean, not to knock Tiffany, and but I know it was a studio decision, but I just still think it's really sad that they did that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can't find the clip you may have sent me, but I found a bunch of other clips of Janet Waldo. So how do you want to run this?
Oh, go ahead and run whatever you've got there.
Okay. Let's do. Wow. Okay. Stand by. It's just a lot here, so I'm just gotta. Whoops. Let me do that like that first. Let's see now. Share screen. That was a pit stop. Alrighty. Now where is it? Let's do that. Okay.
Yep, that's my clip. I think that's the one.
Oh really?
Yep.
Wow. I'm good. Oops. I think I just lost your clip. Okay, let's go backwards here and let's do that. What's the sound?
That was a foolish mistake, my dear Penelope, for now I have you trapped.
But here come the good guys.
Yay!
There's Penelope, trapped on top of that idol.
Faster, Zippy, faster! And now, Penelope, pit stop. If you will observe, this powerful explosive surrounds the base of the idol.
Voice of Paul Lynn.
Do your worst, hooded claw.
I will. Oh, I will. In a moment, Penelope Pitstop, you'll be a has-been heroine.
The powder burns closer and closer, and there's no way down for poor Penelope.
Oh, wait.
Hey, look ahead, Clyde. An impassable cliff.
Not impassable for Chugahome. Let's go!
Don't you wish your car could go like that?
Well, didn't the Mach 5 able to go like that?
Right.
Oh wow, it sounds like Speed Buggy.
I love the teamwork in this.
Don't go away, Penelope! We'll be right over there!
That's teamwork.
I always knew I'd get ahead.
Let go, you dum-dum!
I must save them. All right, Chuggaboom, it's up to little old you.
Blast! 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 She got away!
3 cheers for Penelope.
Well, that was pretty cool. Yeah, so Janet Waldo. Look at that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
she had an amazing career.
yeah.
Look
And
at that.
I do love her southern drawl though that she did.
Oh,
You know?
she did that perfectly. A southern drawl and a kind of girly voice. But look at the upper right with the granny. What? I know this cartoon, and I thought it was based on that dog. I can't remember the name of it.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, but I didn't know that she, in fact, was the granny in that one as well.
Wow,
What?
she was in Thundar.
The Barbarian?
Yeah, she played Cersei in an episode called Island of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, Okay, keep talking, please.
Oh my God, that I did not know. I did not see that one, and it's. Oh my goodness. See,
She also did the voice of Pearl Slagbugle on the Flintstones
Yep.
from 64 to 66.
yeah. Wow. And she was the original Velma.
Was she? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it says which was originally. Oh no, sorry, I misread this. Never mind. Ignore what I just said, people. Ignore it. I misread something. I'm just reading what the granny was. I can't find the granny anywhere about that.
How dare you try to kick out the original Velma?
Sorry, man.
My Velma, because you know I'm a huge Velma fan.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have to move on to the next one because I'm looking at our time.
Yeah. Let's keep going. So, what do you got next here?
Well, the last one I had for today was Jean Vanderpyle. Who?
What?
Yes.
Who?
Wilma Flintstone.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, all right, hold on. In my defense, I try not to embarrass people. Wait. I try not to embarrass anyone completely, but the last one on my list, the one that was sent to me, is Janet Waldo.
Well, I apologize for it. I thought I had sent you my updated list. And because I had 5 on there.
Okay. So no, I'm scrambling for you. Don't mind me one bit.
That's okay. I have a few things to say about Jean Vanderpyle while you're looking up.
Please,
please do.
Go ahead.
She started out as an actress, and she made a lot of appearances on shows like Leave It to Beaver, The Donna Reed Show, Father Knows Best, The Beverly Hillbillies, That Girl, and Petticoat Junction. She was also later on Murder, She Wrote.
Wait a minute. Did she survive?
That's a good question.
Because, that serial killer, Jessica,
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
But she was best known for her role as Wilma Flintstone.
Yeah.
And I think we have an interview up of her, and I believe that might have been one. No, I didn't pull this one, but go ahead and play that. That's great.
Yeah. Hold on. Single this out. Come on.
This is from Entertainment Tonight. Lisa Gibbons. You all remember?
Oh my God! Look at the hair.
TV's first primetime cartoon series and Bedrock's most famous family are celebrating their 25th anniversary with a special on CBS tonight. Scott Osborne has more on the Stone Age salute.
Uh-oh.
That's what happens.
Do you ever wince when you see your old shows, or do you see them and feel a new sense of pride?
Well, for the most part, we're very proud of the things we've done in the past. However, once in a while, don't you wince a little when you see things you've done 25 years ago?
Oh my God, this is horrible.
I think we were good then, and I think we're just as good now, today. I like us.
This is actually my new one. I'm putting this on for you guys, and I'm certainly putting it on for Fred.
We sort of phased into our own characterizations, and it really became Wilma and Fred pretty quickly.
Fred, look
Oh, okay. All right. That's the end of
that. But
years later, on the 30th anniversary, Fred and Wilma were still in fine form.
Well, I'm going to say goodbye because I'm going bowling with Bonnie. Bye!
Oh, no, you don't. We're supposed to be on Entertainment Tonight. Fred, you come back here right now.
But you're still my king around here.
And you're still the queen of my heart.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Quick, hit the cancel button.
She first got her starting role in a show, the Huckleberry Hound Show.
Yeah.
And then she went on to play Wilma Flintstone. And she was like she really got into the role of Wilma, and it was like a part of her. And she said that she believed in her heart that Wilma really loved Fred, despite all her nagging. And that, and they were kind of like, you saw them there. They kind of became like a couple, even though they weren't married on screen in real life. That they kind of had a special bond.
Yeah. Some actors are that way. They bond really well with their co-stars, and that obviously was happening there.
Yeah, I read here that she actually used to get paid $250 per episode for making the Flintstones.
That's a lot.
And when it ended in 1966, she rushed to accept $15,000 in lieu of residual payments from syndication.
Wow.
Can you believe that? And I mean, the show still goes on today.
Yeah, but
they're doing it now on MeTV.
Yeah, but a friend of mine said was doing stuff. He said residual payments back then you only got residuals after five airings. You didn't get any more residuals.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that may have been the case. I've got to check with Carl and see about if that's true. If that's
back
true,
in '66, $15,000 was a lot of money.
Right, and five, depending upon what you were getting per episode for residuals, she may have, it may have been working out to her advantage to take the $15,000.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I'm sure she ran some numbers, or something on that. She seemed like a smart woman.
But she was also known for playing Rosie the Robot. She did the voice for Rosie. Yep. And she also did the voice of OG in Magilla Gorilla, who's actually looks like a Pebbles clone.
It's the little girl. I want to have a puppy in the window or something like that, or gorilla in the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Interesting as all get out. Okay.
So
that's
I had sent you a clip of her being OG, but I don't know why you got the wrong list. I don't know how that happened.
Well, let me look. Let me search. I'll track her down.
She was on. She did additional voices in Captain Caveman. She did some voices on the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy show.
She was also in Top Cat.
Yep. And what was the other one here? Fantastic. Snorks. She was in Snorks. Well, I guess everybody.
Oh my gosh, I don't even have that.
Everybody makes a mistake,
Well, the Snorks, I watched the Snorks. Okay, I was still a kid, and it was on, and it was a little bit popular there for a while because it was sort of like a spinoff of the Smurfs.
Yeah.
But it never became,
never became the hit the Smurfs were.
It never made that legend.
Right. But, yeah.
Jean Vanderpill, her last roles were she played her last time as Wilma in Flintstone Family Christmas in 1996, and then she was on the Weird Al Show in 1997.
Oh my God!
Oh Lord!
All right, real quick here. I'll try to come up with something with me.
And sadly, she passed away in 1999. But she's a voice that's always going to be around,
Oh yeah, because I'm looking at her history, and there is a ton of Flintstone stuff everywhere.
Gorilla Show, starring me and Mr. Beeble, with Mike Mouse, Mockingbird, and Ricochet Rabbit and Trombone. Gorilla for sale.
Yeah.
Take our advice at any price. Our gorilla like a gorilla is fighting.
That's a strong kid.
I was gonna say, man, that kid's eating her Wheaties.
Okay, so that was her character. That's all I got for you.
And that is the list for today. Those were
That's great background music. Keep going.
Those were the 5 voices that from females from cartoons that really started out in the business that were well known, and there's so many more that didn't have a chance to get into. So I'm hoping we'll be having a sequel of this show as we do many others. Where is that noise? I'm like, what are you doing? Is that you, Mark?
Sorry. sorry, a minor an emergency is cropping up around here. Hang on a
No
second.
problem. Do you have to go, Jerome? Do you have to go?
No, Kara's going to take care of it.
All right.
My
Okay.
father's got to go to the hospital.
All right.
Oh,
understand.
Jerome.
Hope for the best.
No. Knowing my father, one of us going at a time will be fine.
All right.
Okay. And Kara will let me know if it's a problem. Here, say something to the crew here, Kara.
All right. Keep going. So, Rose,
guys.
basically, that's the end of your list, right?
Yep, that's it. Hi.
Hi.
Hope
All right.
everything's
Let's
okay.
finish out
Bye.
the show. Let's finish out the show here, guys.
I told Jerome that he has to stay and finish.
He-
That's more important.
All right.
See, I listen to my boss.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Okay, Rose, go ahead and finish this out, babe.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the Saturday morning cartoons, female cartoon voices.
We got to do another one of these. I got to be honest.
There's so much more to hit. I just basically wanted to help out Mark, and I whipped out this show. Unfortunately, I sent him the wrong list. I had started one on Sunday, and I guess that's the one I sent him, and I finished it Monday, and I really don't know how that happened. That's
Rose,
wild.
this was dynamite. I loved it. I learned a lot. I would love for us to do another one because we never touched the two women from Scooby. And
I purposely left them off, hoping we could do another show.
I mean, there was so much more. I mean, I am impressed with what you brought up, and there was so much information, that we didn't know about these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like as always, guys, we always have a list of things that we can continue on. There's never a finality to anything that we do on this program. So just stay tuned when we decide we wanted to add more women, or do another show of female cartoon voices. I'd love to add more women, but no. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Have a great week.